Yes, ma'am. Deputy Presiding Officer, Honorable Chief Secretary for the Service Augustine, all Assemblyman, councillors, administrators, specially invited guests, members of the media, the viewing public, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first thank the Secretary of my Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, and Sustainable Development, Ms. Natisha Charles Pantin, for her continuous hard work in bringing this division in an upward movement for the betterment of food security for Tobago. And let me also extend great thanks to the administrator also of the division. Let me also thank the persons of Signal Hill Patience Hill for their continuous support. If it wasn't for them, I would not have been here for today. And of course, I must give thanks to the Almighty Father for giving me health and strength to be here today also. Deputy Presiding Officer, let me go straight to the achievements and my recent activities in the Division of Marine Resources and Fisheries. Basically, my secretary have already outlined most of the things in the division, and I know if she was given more time, should have been here at least 2 hours, and we want to run up to midnight tonight. So I'll go straight to my achievements. Thus far, we have training for fisher folk in a marine band digital selective calling, very high frequency radio communication, in which 50 fisher folk participated in collaboration with FAO and the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. 80 fisher folk throughout Tobago were targeted from all fishing districts. 50 participants completed a 3-day training and paid fully for the 3 years maritime license. Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. We engaged Tobago non-artisanal multipurpose commercial fishing vessels for registration with International Maritime Organization and Maritime Services registration to receive IMO and TTO numbers, updated fishing fleet and vessel category information for the Western Central Atlantic Fishing Commission and the Fisheries and Resources Monitoring System Regional Vessel Database. Restart of the boat subsidy program for subsidy of up to 25% of cost for newly constructed vessel. Staff sensitization for the restart of the fuel rebate program. Outboard engine registration drive throughout Tobago. Fisheries lectures to stakeholders on fish handling, fish storage and processing. Collaborative training with Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management, ODPM, in safety at sea for fisher folk in recognition of May Safety Month. Participation from Northeast Tobago from Charlottesville, Speyside, Delaford, and Belgarden fisher folk. Participated in meetings with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard to develop a collaborative management strategy for the Buckle Reef Marine Park, which included, but was not limited to, joint monitoring and surveillance and public sensitization, collaboration with research and educational institutions in conducting field research on marine species, fishing methods, fishing livelihoods, continued management of facilities, staff and stakeholders' activities at fish landing sites throughout Tobago, launched of data collection databases, offered fisheries services to stakeholders, vessel registration and transfer, fishermen ID processing, VAT exemptions and queries, reporting on damaged vessels and recommendations for disaster relief payment, re-establishment of fisheries extension monthly meetings with representatives of fishing associations throughout Tobago, attended a project inception workshop and steering committee meeting for strategic technologies and social solutions to manage bycatch in tropical large marine ecosystem fisheries, attended meeting with Woodside Energy to update stakeholders of the new exploration block in collaboration with Shell at the Boko Integrated Facility, Project Shipwright, deep water TDD seismic survey to determine presence and the value of oil and gas, recommissioning of the Barbados Bay Fish Facility. We also hosted a ceremony there. Site visits at Culloden, Castara, Palatevier, and Bloody Bay Fish landing sites. Met with fisher folk operating at Barbados Bay Fish Facility to outline rules and facility and invite them to utilize the facility. And at present, we are doing the distribution of flockers to the boat owners and vendors at that area. Site visits to Lambo, Pigeon Point, Corland, Boko, Charlotteville, and Fort Granby fish facilities. Management and processing of boat process registration, transfers card renewal, card submissions, AB forms, and provisional approval forms to Maritime Services Division for TT number registration, monitoring reporting on facility infrastructure, and orchestrating repairs as required. Deputy Presiding Officer, let me say at this point in time that I heard the minority saying that no consultation was done at the Palatevier Fish Facility. Let me say that that was a lie. Deputy Presiding Officer, my mother once said to me, do not use lie, say false. So let me rephrase my statement. I overheard the minority leader saying that no consultation was done at the Palatevier Fish Facility. Deputy Presiding Officer, that is a false. It is a false. I was present with the fisher folk of Palatevier in company with the Honorable Chief Secretary Farley Chavez Augustine, who is also the area representative for that area. So again, I say that this statement is false and my statement is truth. And as we're still on that rebunking, I also heard the Assemblyman for Roxborough Argyle saying that the oil spill and fisher folk are suffering and nothing is being done for them. Let me also say that an oil spill relief committee is in place at this point in time, and meetings are taking place to bring some sort of relief in a short order for the fisher folk who are affected by the oil spill at the Cove area. I have that now. We also have developed a draft user policy for the fishing facilities upon their completion. We also facilitated and assisted the Glamorgan Youth Foundation regatta on the recently sporting activity. We did site visit and consultation with the tiki bar owners at the Boko Reef Marine Park. We participated in meetings with Shell. Officers of the Division Collective Unit participated in the Tobago Fish Livelihood Survey. Research officer contributed at the oversight committee level, facilitated interagency meetings, remanagement of the Boko Reef Marine Park, collaboration with Boko Reef Trust, the Artificial Reef Project, conducted site visits to monitor said artificial reef structures within the Boko Reef Marine Park, coral reef check mission to assess Elcon corals within the Book Reef Marine Park. The diving unit investigated reports of a fish kill along the Atlantic coast on Tuesday, 24th October 2023. If you all could remember that some fish came up floating up on the Atlantic coast sometime late last year. The division did investigation on that. The diving unit assisted the Institute of Marine Affairs in the reinstallation of a coral reef early warning system on Tuesday 24th and Wednesday 25th October 2023. The diving superintendent attended a number of meetings to discuss a number of issues, including the recently oil spill in the Cove area, the use of the reef patrol vessel, other vessels for the department, and installation of an artificial reef for Boku. IME Marine Project, maintenance of diving compressor, and we assisted IME in dives for the Marine Project. The Department of Marine Resources and Fisheries has under its purview the following projects: improvements to the Boku Reef Marine Park management and ecological maintaining, improvement to reefs at Boku and Speyside, establishment of marine control unit at Gibson Jetty, installation of moorings buoys, improvement to beaches and landing facilities. Deputy Presiding Officer, these are some of our projections. The continuation of the fuel rebate program, continuation of the outboard engine registration, the management of all divisions of fish facilities, reconfiguration of some of the fish facilities in Tobago, as Secretary Pantel has stated before. Deputy Presiding Officer, we recognize that training in various disciplines is crucial to the growth and expansion of the fishing sector. Therefore, a series of training programs are being arranged to facilitate the upgrade of the skills and capabilities of those who wish to make fishing their main source of income. Towards this end, focus will be placed on the following training initiatives: women in fisheries, training for females in the boning, filleting, and smoking of fish; outboard engine training for fishers; development of fishers' handbook and videography, feature on skills in the fishing industry; net mending, fish pots, and boat building; precept training for senior officers; scuba certification for fisheries staff to bolster diving unit workforce; safety CPR training. The division is willing to partner with ADFA and TUFA. Let me explain ADFA and TUFA. ADFA is All Tobago Fisherfolk Association, and TUFA is Tobago Unified Fisherfolk Association. So the division is willing to partner with both ADFA and TUFA in continuation of training of fisherfolks throughout the island. Continued training with Tobago Sea School and all our stakeholders for the safety at sea for all fisherfolk, where fishermen must know weather conditions, the right type of engine for vessels, all safety gears and PPE that must be used while at sea, along with radio and VHF training. Deputy Presiding Officer, we at the division will continue to do our best in provide training to educate and safeguard the livelihoods of those who ply their trade at sea for their daily living. We want to continue discussion with members of the Tobago Jet Ski Association and reef boat tour operators for increasing safety for patrons and other users of the marine park. Continue close affiliation with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard for the protection of our marine parks and environs. Deputy Presiding Officer, the fishing sector is in need of an injection of strategies, plans, programs, and various resources to provide the boost needed to expand the number of persons who operate in the sector, as well as to promote efficiencies in the operation of those who are already invested in the industry. It is about time fishermen, reef tour operators, jet ski operators, divers, and all stakeholders feel comfortable in Tobago whilst plying their trade. The vision articulated as well as the planned collaborations between fisherfolk and all stakeholders of Tobago and the Marine and Fisheries Department of the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, as well as other stakeholders, is well placed as we move ahead to a better living condition for our citizens who depend on the marine sphere for a sustainable way of life. Deputy Presiding Officer, allow me the opportunity again to thank my Chief Secretary, Assemblyman Terence Baines, Assemblyman Wade Clark, and all members of this executive for putting lights on the Patience Hill Recreation Ground after begging, clamoring, making noise for years. Nothing was done. But this executive have proven that we don't make promises that never materialize. We don't do that. We deliver on our words. Let me also thank the residents of my electoral district again for supporting the District Football League that is playing under lights. And I must say lights because yeah, God said let there be lights. So when we're having games now, people could see me and I could wave. So they just wouldn't recognize me by my gold teeth only. Let me also say this. I, Nigel Taitt, will continue to work with members of my electoral district and walk the ground and give a listening ear to your issues. And I will bring your issues to this executive and we'll try to have your issues resolved. I remain your humble servant as we all try to make Tobago the greatest island on this planet. Deputy Presiding Officer, I thank you.